theory versus the theory that the Earth is a sphere. And we were just talking about objects disappearing at the horizon, whether they sink below the horizon, indicating that there's a curvature to the Earth, or that they just disappear from our ability to see, disappear into just at the end of the perspective. And my question was, and I'm sorry we had to interrupt Justin because we had to go to a commercial break, but was when you watch a sunset, that's different than watching like a boat sail away on the horizon, where it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and appears to sink. The sun doesn't seem to change size; it just seems to go down and disappear.
Right.
So,
I'm looking at a picture that has a dome. Justin, if you're watching the show, you'll see it come up here in just a second. It's got a 15-second delay.
That's from Rob Skiba.
That's from what?
That's from Rob Skiba.
What is that exactly?
He is one of the researchers and guys talking about this subject a lot on YouTube and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he's the one that designed that picture right there.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Real interesting stuff there. So, why would the Earth be flat versus round? Why would God create it flat?
That, and I am a believer in Scripture, so I don't know. I can't speak for him.
Good answer.
I will not attempt to speak for him.
Darn good answer. None of us could, huh? None of us could. But okay. So now, why is it so intriguing to so many people about this? Do you think, Justin?
Man, I do not know, and that is a great question. And I believe that at some point the government has to be behind this, or the powers that be, whatever you want to call them. Because, who wakes up one morning and decides the Earth's flat, or could be?
I kind of woke up this morning going, we have to do a show on the fact that the Earth is flat. Are you serious?
Right.
Come on, man. Have we lost our minds or something? Or go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
I believe that, something had to release the info, what they call a psyop or whatever. I'm not sure. But, no, I cannot verify that. It's just my own personal opinion. But like I said, this movement's exploding. And it's really uplifting when you look into it and think, man, it really could be.
Well, anything really could be, though. You got to look at that for sure. You got to look at that. Anything could be. If you don't look at the world that anything could. Here, put it this way, Justin. Would you agree with this? Would I be safe to assume that you might possibly agree with this, and this might be true? If you watch, do you watch a lot of movies?
That I'm not real big on. I've seen some, but I'm not a big movie watcher.
They're all. A lot of them are made in Hollywood, and being out in California out here, you see the movies being made on the streets. You'll go into a mall and there'll be this big old giant friggin' movie set up in there. Oh, you got to turn that down first, buddy. And then, so what I'm trying to get at is that, you can make a movie and make anybody believe it. And especially with the internet right now, you can make a lot of people believe this. But I think that a lot of people that don't look at things with an open eye look tunnel vision. And when you look tunnel vision, of course, you can't see what the hell's going on around you. What do you have to say about that, sir? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So what? So why are people so intrigued about this then? If they believe that what they learned in school is true, do they all think that they have all been lied to now?
Yes, they say the truth will set you free, and I firmly believe in that because I can't explain it, but I lost my girlfriend over looking into this because that's all I did for 6 months with all my free time.
Mm-hmm. Why would the world lie to us, though? Why would the government lie to us about the world being flat?
Well, this is the underlying question, huh? And
I mean, is there a reason why? Is there something that needs to be hidden?
Yeah, I mean, this is why the sea parts in the whole concept of the shape of the earth is because they're basically hiding God, and that's an opinion again. And you can laugh if you want; I won't be offended. But it's to the world, that's a generic concept, But in my mind, that's why. If you're familiar with Scripture at all, the Tower of Babel story in Genesis 11, they built some type of tower machine or whatever it was that was going to break into the heaven, and God had to step in, confine the languages so they couldn't build the tower, because it said whatever they were going to do, they were going to pull it off. And guess what? They all had one language and one ruler and one king. His name was Nimrod. And I believe that's what the New World Order is and always has been. It's to get back to that point, to break into the heavens, to overthrow God or achieve, eternal life without God.
Interesting.
Through transhumanism, CERN, whatever you want to throw in there. But I believe that's the ultimate goal.
What if this whole flat Earth theory was or is a CIA psyop, a distraction exactly from everything going on? What if it's a mind control experiment to see...
Exactly. And there's probably a lot of truth in that. I would have to say it would have to be on some level, to get the response on the internet that they have in 1 year. You're talking from like 40,000 YouTube videos to 6 million in 1 year, That's a big jump.
There's 6 million videos on this thing?
Yep. According
what the hell are we doing a show for? What the hell are we doing a show on this thing for, man? We're like a little dot on the damn screen as far as nobody's going to listen to us on this thing. Yeah, they'll listen to Justin, though. They're going to be like... But it is definitely an interesting concept, but people get very, very defensive about it. Why?
They do. Why? I don't know why. I mean, that's what the mind control. Her name is Jennifer, or what's her name? I'm sorry.
My name.
Talking with
yeah, Jennifer. Yeah.
Yeah. She was touching on the mind control topic of it, and there's definitely that going on. And I would credit all the defense and the name calling it's just ruthless. And that's the only thing I can attribute it to, because it doesn't make sense to me why someone can't, consider that, especially in the truth community.
I mean, with the internet being a global platform, the opportunities for the CIA and all these intelligence agencies to use us as guinea pigs to advance their mind control agenda and test their techniques and technologies. I mean, they probably just put a seed out there. This is just a thought, and are just sitting back.
They have to use truth when they do that, or else it won't work. They have to, release some levels of truth in order, for you to bite on the worm or whatever. They have to release some type of. It's like the 9/11 movement. There's all kinds of communities that are, pushing the controlled demolition. And, the real people say that that's a psyop. They had to release some truth. I don't know why. I mean, it's fascinating. It's what I look into with all my free time is the construct of the world that we live in.
Justin, what did you feel like when the first time that you heard about this? What did you think?
I thought, I just kind of glanced over it, for, I don't know, maybe a month before I decided, when I heard Rob Skiba talking on it, because I followed him previously, I thought, well, Rob Skiba's talking about this, I'm going to check it out. And it was like, when I first seen that the pictures were all, easily debunkable, that settled with me real easily. I'm like, huh. But then to actually consider that we live on a flat plane was a whole another revelation.
Now, why hasn't anybody? Let me ask you something. This is kind of funny. When a ship when a ship goes out on cruise, hey, let's go. We're gonna go cruise around the world. Around the world. How the hell do they start at one point and get right back to the same point at the same? How does that happen?
Well, they always go east and west.
What?
They always go travel when they circumnavigate the Earth. It's always east and west travel. They don't circumnavigate from north to south.
Well, that's because of the water mass. We're talking about a boat. Okay, let's say an airplane. We're going to fly around the world. How do we fly around the world and we leave Chicago?
And again, they don't fly over Antarctica.
Yeah, why is that?
And well, if you consider, and if you look at the United Nations emblem, it's actually a azimuthal equidistant, however you say the flat Earth map, something like that. Azimuthal equidistant, I think it's called. They use that map as their emblem, United Nations. And Mark Sargent does the 12 clues, and he touches on this subject on their flight tracker radar where you can track planes and stuff. You won't see any of them flying over the ocean in the southern hemisphere. Now, why that is, I don't know.
Well, could that be due to the weather that is down there? The temperature of the air is minus. I mean, down actually on the Earth, it's recorded between minus 60 to, I think the coldest was minus 120 degrees Fahrenheit. They have to take into account that of the temperature of the fuel in the airplane has to be at a certain temperature in order to be able to work, to burn. And then also, one of the reasons to not fly over Antarctica is the distance actually is longer than, if you look at a map, the shortest distance is, a straight line, and they do skim Antarctica, but they don't need to go over it to hit the next continent over. There are air flight rules that they would have to comply with if they were to fly over Antarctica, and that would be to have certain safety equipment on board. They also have to be able to, especially down there, they can only fly a distance that they can manage to fly on one engine, so that if they have any engine failures, they're within flight distance of another place to land.
Right, and like I said, I've got hours and hours and hours of looking into all this stuff, so I totally get both sides of the argument. Like, I was just hoping mainly to provoke thought and intrigue people that consider it ridiculous, to give it a chance, because there's definitely a jewel in there. I could talk till I'm blue in the face. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, but I'm just basically, wanted to call in. I seen the ad on the show and hopefully provoke some thought and everybody be friends at the end.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm glad you called in. It was really interesting talking to you.
Great. Good. I have to go. Is this show going to be available on, YouTube or anything like that?
Actually, it'll be up in about 10 minutes, Justin. You'll be able to watch the show and spread the, let everybody see it and, see what you're talking about. And, I know there's a lot of people out there that want to share this information with other people too, and so you're more than welcome to share our videos. All of you want everybody out there to know that you're more than welcome to share our videos with the world, because that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be stingy and say, oh no, it's not, you can't be here. Justin, thank you so much for being on the show, buddy. We really appreciate it.
All right, you guys are amazing.
Thank you so much, Justin. Justin, thank you. This is Mark Connors, American Media News, and Jennifer Mills. We'll be right back after this. Take care, Justin.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I appreciate it.